Hello and welcome to Church Chat with Monsignor Frank Chiodo. Monsignor, how are you today?
Good, Father Dolan. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and it's always nice to see your face. And it's nice to join our audience, although virtually, and as we reflect on what it is to be Catholic and what it is to be a parishioner of St. Anthony's.
Yes, but before we do, may I make one comment?
Well, absolutely, Monsignor. It's your show.
The program that we're having here, this Church Chat, is designed to afford you, the listener, and the viewer, the opportunity to ask any questions you like about the Catholic faith or about St. Anthony's or whatever, anything in terms of your faith, and we would attempt to answer those. And we've received just precious few questions over the past month or so. So if you have questions, you can contact Father Dolan, and I think the email are...
It's my work email, and I will flash it across the bottom of the screen here momentarily.
Okay, so you can text us any questions you have or your comments or something that you're concerned about, and we'll address it the best we can. From time to time, people will ask me about St. Anthony's Parish, and I thought it would be a good topic to discuss today, something that we are very proud of and have been very much a part of, in my case in particular, all my life. And I'd like to talk a little bit about St. Anthony's.
Okay.
And you, Father Dolan, have been here now 3 or 4 years, and so you're an adopted son of St. Anthony's.
I am?
Yeah. So we want to talk about this parish. St. Anthony's Parish was founded in 1906. And at that time, in the city of Des Moines, there were just 2 other parishes.
Which ones?
The St. Ambrose.
The cathedral, of course.
It wasn't the cathedral yet.
Right.
It was just the downtown church. And then Visitation, which was on the east side.
Wasn't it originally located by the Capitol next to that giant tower memorial?
Originally at the Capitol, but I think by 1900s it was. Had it moved yet? I'm not sure. Visitation had moved, but Visitation was the first parish. Cathedral was the second. Our St. Ambrose. It wasn't the cathedral till 1912 when the diocese was established and formally erected. Mm-hmm. And St. Anthony's was founded in 1906. In the latter part of the 1800s, the Bishop of Davenport, we were part of the Davenport Diocese at that time.
Okay.
The Davenport Diocese had considered sending a priest to establish a parish south of the railroad, on the south side of Des Moines, in order to accommodate the growing population here. And for one reason or another, they couldn't send a priest here in the 1800s, so they had to wait to 1906. And by 1906, the population of the south side of Des Moines had mushroomed, particularly because of the great influx of Italian immigrants who established a home here in Des Moines, particularly on the south side of the railroad tracks. Many of those Italian immigrants worked the railroads, and some worked in the coal mines surrounding Des Moines. And so the Italian settlement was here on the south side. So in the early 1900s, after an attempt in the 1800s to send a priest, they knew they had to because the population had been growing so much.
Right.
So Bishop Cosgrove of Davenport found Father Francesco Vittorio Romanelli, who was a priest from Naples, who at that time had been serving in a parish, I believe, Mount Carmel in Orange, New Jersey, and asked him through his superiors if he would be loaned to the Diocese of Des Moines to serve, Davenport, rather, at that time, to serve the parish in Des Moines, which was newly erected, and it was named after St. Anthony of Padua, a great Italian saint. And so the name of the priest, again, is Francesco Victor Romanelli, and you can see his photograph. He was a young man, basically at that time, who, again, was in Orange, New Jersey. And he was quite a fiery, dramatic, charismatic character. He had been in Naples, as I said, and Father Romanelli had developed quite a reputation in Naples because his family was in the publishing business, and they published a newspaper. And he was involved in it, even as a priest, involved in the newspaper. And he was renowned in the area for his very, I don't want to say controversial positions. Excuse me, his controversial positions. Pardon?
How was he controversial?
Well, he was involved. There was a missionary priest by the name of Longo. Blessed, I can't remember his first name. Longo. He had founded a shrine near Naples to Our Lady of Pompeii, and Father Romanelli was very critical of Bartolomeo. Father Bartolomeo Longo. Father Bartolomeo Longo. Father Romanelli, also a priest in Naples, was very critical of Father Bartolomeo Longo for a number of reasons, and it caused quite a stir. And the Bishop of Naples, the Archbishop of Naples, actually told Father Romanelli to hit the pavement, to hit the road.
Oh, wow.
Because he was causing so much trouble, and so sent him packing to the United States as a missionary. So he ended up in New York and then Orange, New Jersey, Mount Carmel. And there in Orange, New Jersey, he served the Italian parish and established a hospital, built and founded a hospital for Italian immigrants.
Wow.
Now, this was early 1900s. And at that time, that was...
There was a lot of know-nothings, anti-Catholicism.
Right. Anti-Catholicism, anti-Italian immigrant. And he stepped forward and got the help he needed and the money and the funding and so forth, and established a hospital. And I've been to Orange, New Jersey, Mount Carmel Church, and seen the building that was once the hospital. But now I think it's a rest home now or something like that. It's no longer a hospital, but it was a magnificent building that he had built in the early 1900s. So in spite of his tremendous charismatic, effective ministry, he was invited by the Bishop of Davenport to come to Des Moines and to found this parish on the south side, and he agreed to do that. He had gotten into some trouble in Orange, New Jersey as well. There was an instance of he got into a conflict with the parish near his parish. I think it was an Irish parish, so there was some rivalry between the Italians. Fancy that.
Surprise,
between the Italians and the Irish. And there was some heated exchanges in the media, in the newspaper. And so the Bishop of New Jersey, I think, was happy to send him packing also. So he ends up in Des Moines. Francesco Vittorio Romanelli.
I see on your sign here, which the camera can't see quite right now, but I see that he was pastor until 1912, it looks
Correct,
like.
1912. Okay. 1906, when it was founded, to 1912. When he arrived on the south side of Des Moines, there was nothing. There were no buildings, just many Italian immigrants who were living, many of whom were living in basically hovels over here at Columbus Park.
Oh, wow.
On Southeast First and Indianola Road, which is now Columbus Park, but that was the original settlement of the Italian immigrants. And he came, he enlisted their help, enrolled them as parishioners, and said his first mass in 1906 at a fire station, which was on Southeast First and Indianola, on the opposite side of what is now Columbus Park, on the west side of what is now Columbus Park. So they offered their first mass. They established a parish, and within a year.
Was that the old fire station that used to stand there?
No, it was another fire station.
It was another fire station. Okay.
And so Father Romanelli began a building project, built a church, the first floor of the church building, where they offered mass, and then within 6 years had built the second story, which housed the school. So in 6 years, he had built the parish, built the building, and built the school as well, the second story of the school. And so opened up a school to, I think, 8 grades, and I think there were like 400 or 500 kids.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people don't know, might not know that about our own history, but there used to be a lot of parishes that did that two-story thing back in the turn of the century period. We don't have any left of the diocese set up like that. We like we like to have everything at one level anymore. But one of my classmates from the seminary, his home parish was still set up like that. Had a double layer thing, and one layer was the church, the other layer was the school. So they're still around.
That was very common. St. Peter's in Des Moines, I think, was the last one that had the school and the church like that. So Father Romanelli then built a strong foundation for the parish of St. Anthony's, many of whom were Italian immigrants, as I said. But the parish boundaries stretched all the way from the railroad all the way to Lacona, Iowa. So we're all the way through Indianola, all the way to Lacona. And of course, there were very few Catholics out there, but that was the actual geographical territory for St. Anthony's Parish, and went all the way to what is now Easter Lake to 63rd Street in West Des Moines. And so it's very large. It was very large then. It's still very large in geography as well as in numbers. And so he really set the stage for a grand history for this parish. He was beloved, Father Romanelli. As I said, he had quite a personality and was quite a character and quite outspoken.
It sounds like he fit in well to the people of this parish.
Yeah, and he was a typical Southern Italian who had a fiery temper and was unafraid of saying what he believed in and what he thought about things. Unfortunately, what happened was another couple interesting things is in 1912, after 6 years of hard work here, he had a terrible diabetes problem. And his health had taken a downturn. And he was given a medical leave of absence to go back to Italy for some months to recuperate, to regain his health, and to come back and assume responsibility as pastor of the parish he founded. He went to Naples and was supposed to stay there several months, but his health, he regained his health quite quickly and decided that he wanted to come back to Des Moines and St. Anthony's before the allotted and appointed time. And so he booked passage on the maiden voyage
of a relatively unknown
ship called the Titanic. And he actually, I got to step back. Actually, he was supposed to come back on the Titanic in April. He booked passage, but his health, as I said, had regained his health, so he came back a week or two earlier. So he came back before the Titanic's maiden voyage. Had he followed through on his original plan, he would have been on the Titanic, and he might have gone down with the Titanic to a tragic death. But knowing Father Romanelli, he would have gone. He would have gone down with a splash, as it were, with his character, and probably he would be known in history as the priest of the Titanic. There was another priest on it, and thank God he came back. He came back to open the school. He came back actually for Easter. He wanted to come back and do Holy Week, and he opened the school, and then his health never really did blossom, and so he decided to go back to Naples to return to his homeland. He arrived back in Naples to be greeted by his father, who, and there's another tragic story there, his father was at the shore to greet him at the port, and as soon as Father Romanelli disembarked, his father had a heart attack and died.
Oh my God.
It was tragic. And but Father Romanelli remained there, and he survived for just a few more years, and then he was only in his 40s, I believe, and died.
He looks young in that photo.
Yeah, well, he was early 40s, and he died, and we've never been the same. Father Romanelli, we owe so much to him. Oh, by the way, another thing what Father Romanelli did here in Des Moines at St. Anthony's, as I said, in Orange, New Jersey, Mount Carmel Parish, he founded a hospital for Italian immigrants. he always wanted to care for the whole person, not just the spiritual, but also the physical and material. Wanted to make sure that the entire person was served, and that he cared for their welfare in their entirety. And so here in Des Moines, he didn't found a hospital, but he did found a macaroni factory.
The macaroni factory.
He had a building built that produced Italian macaroni, spaghetti. And that building was here up till about 10 years ago. But it had not been occupied for many years. In fact, when I was a child, it was just still an empty building. It was used as a storehouse. But we always called it the macaroni factory. And that was founded by Father Romanelli to provide work for the Italian immigrants.
Wow.
Many of whom didn't have work, and they work in the macaroni factory. And so he always thought outside the box. He was a true giant of a man, to whom we owe so much here at St. Anthony's. His family, his brother was here in Des Moines at St. Anthony's. I think that's part of the reason he chose to come here, was his brother was here. And his brother's family grew up here. In fact, Father Romanelli's brother's daughter was my classmate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Mary Kay Romanelli. And so she has a great love and appreciation for her uncle, Father Romanelli, as well. So the Romanelli name is still known in Des Moines and then St. Anthony's. So we are very grateful for what Father Romanelli did, and I'll offer a prayer for him. I don't know how much time we have yet on this. We have time to pray for him, that he received the reward for his labors, even though it's been gone for over a century now, that the Lord will not have forgotten him, and then give him the rewards for his hard work and his shepherding and sacrificial love for this parish, in building a firm and strong foundation for who we are here at St. Anthony's.
Amen. And it's clear how much of an impact he's had on you as you've shared this story and shared so much of your love for Father Romanelli.
Yeah, I'd heard the name Father Romanelli, spoken of so often as a child, and he was quite a character. Yeah. This is Victor F. Romanelli. Actually, his name was Francesco Victor Romanelli, but he evidently went by Victor. And Francesco Vittorio Romanelli from Naples, Italy. There are pictures of him. There's one picture right before he went back to Italy that's in the back of church. And he's dressed in a long frock coat and a top hat. And
I could tell even with the hat on here, he's a classy guy.
A Beretta. That's a Beretta, actually. But he had a top hat in that photo in the back of the church, so he was quite a dresser.
Well, this has been Church Chat with Monsignor Chiodo. I'm Father Dolan from St. Anthony's, and want to say a quick goodbye and a reminder to send us your questions via email, and we'll see you next time.
Bye now, and God love you, as Bishop Sheen would say.
God bless you guys. Take care.